Okay, so this is a theoretical treatise in 8 minutes and 11 seconds. I don't believe a star burns fuel. Nobody's proven that to me. It's all based on a theory called fusion. And scientists almost universally believe that that's how suns operate. Well, I don't think so. I think every sun has a singularity in it. And that it's actually producing free electrons and other basic elements like hydrogen and helium. I believe that there is such density at the core of the sun due to the presence of this singularity that space itself is being wrung out, and that space is producing hydrogen and helium direct from space, direct, and that's when fusion occurs. It's not because some gaseous nebula simply condensed under gravitational influence into this agglomeration of elements, largely hydrogen and helium, although other elements as well. I believe, therefore, it is possible in the future for us to build machines that mimic this effect and precipitate atoms and ions and other material elements out of space directly. This is actually a technology I believe I will start working on in the last 10 or 20 years of my life. Because my first projects are anti-gravity and free energy merged in one machine so that you can have both a space drive and a power unit in your spacecraft or undersea base or starship hovering above your planet to ensure that climatological restoration is happening on a global scale at a fast enough rate to combat the problems of climate change. That's what we're going to use this technology for. Fair warning, a scientific force for good is coming with inertial propulsion technologies, with force shield technologies, with free energy technologies that will counteract all of the ordinary limitations of global commerce. Meaning, we can go reforest any part of the globe in a day using gigantic anti-gravity powered craft that can transport an entire nursery of 1 million tree saplings to any place, any time of day. Boom, 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 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. It's like slapping them down on the planet. Boom, 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 boom. Postage stamp repair of every rainforest that was destroyed, of every arboreal ecosystem, and every boreal forest that is on this planet and so essential to the maintenance of climate. Repaired! Boom! As soon as these technologies are unleashed. And that's why we are probably future beings. Because we're bringing something that represents way more the energy of the future than the energy of the past. Limitations? What? What do you mean limitations? I got anti-gravity. What are you talking about? Limitations. I got free energy. What you talking about? What you talking about? Limitations. Don't give me limitations. I'm a future being. They don't exist for me the way they existed for the past of humanity. And they don't have to exist for you either. Because we are one in this conviction that humankind should not be subject to artificial limitations. If these are pure potentialities that can arise out of the quantum field, why aren't we using them? Why aren't we allowing them to ourselves? Why are we not embracing that destiny? Well, because somebody fed us a load of bull that we had to buy their oil and their electricity, which you got to pay every month. This last winter, my electricity bill was $1,800 to $2,000 because I couldn't keep enough firewood around to heat my house by wood alone up here in these Oregon winters. And where we stand now is that people are held to ransom for utility costs, and we have to have social service organizations engage in utility advocacy, both to keep ordinary utility prices down and to make sure that old and infirm peoples don't have their power shut off for non-payment. I can tell you of people I know who do this routinely and who have done it for me. So in general, what I'm saying is in the future, those things will never even be heard of. What do you mean you couldn't pay your power bill? Dude, it's 2100. What are you talking about? In 2100, there will be no such thing as a power bill. Nobody will ever pay another power bill. Therefore, there will also be no centralized energy companies except the ones who make the free energy machines, which they sell to you one time. And then they don't see you again unless you want to buy a smaller unit for your boat. Unless you want to buy a small unit for your car. Whatever. These machines won't wear out. They'll last 150 to 200 years without maintenance. That's what we're talking about in the future. Those are the only limitations, is the limitations of matter itself. But we want to do as much of this free energy and anti-gravity through field-mediated force vectors, where metal does not touch metal, where energy is not being extracted out of a generator by brushes that wear out like they do in your car alternator, planned obsolescence, but have some unique way of extracting the energy hydrodynamically or magnetohydrodynamically or something to that effect that will end the need for physical brushes on any kind of a generator to extract the electricity. At any rate, all design considerations that need to be heeded if we're going to build a sustainable future is that everything we build from now on shouldn't be tied to planned obsolescence and some company in Korea or China supplying you the spare parts. No, thank you. We want machines that don't break down. That's the future. And it can be done, just like Buckminster Fuller said. We know everything we need to know right now to provide for everybody on this planet to an acceptable standard of living. And when I say acceptable, that means universal health care, that means universal education, that means universal shelter and guaranteed basic income, meaning access to resources. It doesn't have to be dollars controlled by some banking cartel. It's the basic resources of cosmic energy. It's the basic resources of Mother Gaia. All of these should be free. Now, if anyone wants to make a killing in the future, here's how to do it. Catch up with me in the development of free energy and anti-gravity technologies, because I'm way out ahead of you. And I don't believe in competition, so I'm going to make most of my innovations free to the public after 1 year or something like that. Open source it like you wouldn't believe. So come up to the future. The water's nice.